Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. Back with the man, myth, the legend, the lumberjack himself, and the only three amigo with a bobblehead. He is right there.
The only guy who was big enough a sucker to get a bobblehead and was like, you know what? I mean, that was the whole reason for creating something like that, was my kids would love it and I could like have fun with it with them. So yeah, it's exciting. But yeah, super excited to be here and ready to cover all that we have for us today. There's a lot there.
Yeah. So round one, as we get into this more and more, you and I helping more and more folks, it obviously starts very domestic.
Yeah.
But as our channels grow and our reach grows, it really does go worldwide. And
Yeah.
I have quite a following from around the world, with Canada probably being the largest second country besides the United States.
Mhm.
And I get asked all the time about the Canadian real estate market. So I want to be very clear. I've never invested there, never wrote an offer there, never been pre-approved there. I rarely talk about things I haven't done,
Mhm.
but I've spent enough time researching the market that I at least I have enough concern that I wanted to lay it out. I'll lay it out for you.
Yep.
And if you know anything, you can sort of counteract or
Sure.
agree or whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of this is based on my past experience. It is I might be overcomplicating it. I might be reaching, but the last downturn was so severe in the United States, and I see at least the kindling in the Canadian market where a big problem could be looming in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And this is why. Near as I can tell, most real estate mortgages in Canada are of the 5-year fixed variety.
Yes.
And also, I believe 25-year AM, but that's less of an issue. It's 5-year fixed. I am hearing more and more that there's a bank, I think it's Bank of Canada, that will do a 10-year fixed, but the majority of loans are 5-year fixed.
Yes.
Now, that's not normally an issue, right? I've been doing this for, been looking at rates for 30 some odd years. Rates generally move pretty slow, except for 2 periods. One was in the early 80s when Paul Volcker decided to beat inflation. And the second happens to be the last 100 days, unfortunately. So there is definitely a chance that rates reset or come back going forward. But I would be really concerned, right? Canada real estate market has been as hot or hotter than most US markets. So prices are up. Affordability is way down. And I am afraid that if you're going into a reset, let's say you bought 5 years, let's say you bought 4 years ago. So you're up 30%. Yeehaw! But now you go from like a 1.7. They have debt in the ones because again, it's 5-year, right? So you have debt in the ones, and now you go reset and it's at 4.1. So not crazy in a normal market, but you're up 150%, right? So even if you just do a rate and term refi, I don't know. I think rates move so fast. I fear that there will be a lot of, because this is what happened for me in my market of Fresno, California. A lot of people got approved for these BS loans at 0.9 and 1.9. In my world, they reset after 2 years, not 5, but then they reset it, 8 or 9%. So the delta is much larger, but the outcome is the same. I could afford it here. I can't afford it here. Thus, I have to sell. I guess I see some, I don't know if it's forced sales in Canada, but some people going, ouch, I think I'm going to take my equity and run. And unfortunately, lots of loans reset every month, right? So the first people to reset are fine. But as the wave gets bigger and more people come, less and less people buy supply. And pretty soon you have price cuts in Canada. The rates jumped a lot. I mean, you could see price drops probably in 12 to 18 months, if my fear is right. What do you think of all that? Because I might be off. You may know different things.
No, I mean, so first off, I love Canada. I've been all over Canada.
Toronto's Toronto's my favorite city.
Toronto is awesome. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Whistler. I've been all those amazing places. I think that what you're saying is dead on. I think that the problem that we're going to have in the States is going to be far worse in Canada.
Yeah, because in the States, again, right or wrong, it just is what it is. We have 98% of our loans are 30-year fixed this time.
Yep.
Hence, we freeze in place because again, in the States, it's like, because everybody has to live somewhere. In the United States, we didn't ever had, at least not that I know of, anybody in the ones, but we had people in the twos. They're going to look at going, hey, I have a bunch of equity also. I don't have to refi. I have no interest rate risk. And if I go somewhere else, like if I punch out, if I cash out, I have to pay 50% more to rent. So that's gonna freeze the US market. But in Canada, it's the reverse. It's the debt structure. I keep telling people there is a housing market, but there's a lending market, and the lending market can cause the housing market to blow up. Yep. And it doesn't blow up fast. It's a cascade. It's like that dominoes you see where you see a little domino hits a bigger one and then a bigger one. And then pretty soon you're doing one that's like 8 feet tall. Yeah. That's what happens. Like the first month, not a big deal. Right. Second month, not really a big deal. But you get to the 6th month and then the 9th month, the dominoes are getting bigger and bigger. So I would love to be wrong. I absolutely love to be wrong. I'd love to see interest rates come back. But yeah, I think if you're going to go refi and the rate is 150% higher than what you had the first 5 years, I think there's a lot of people in trouble. And then for them, trouble in Canada means you have to sell. Right. And then in Canada, unlike the States, like I did research on this back in the 2000s, so it may have changed, but the research back in the day in the US, when you had a short sale, it didn't always have to be filed as income tax, right? Because, you had a loss, right? Sure. Some states you did, some states I understand you didn't. In Canada, it becomes personal debt. Like if you owe 200, you sell for 150, that 50K becomes personal debt. They don't let you wash it away. Wow. You carry it forward. Now, again, that could have changed. That research is 15 years old, but yeah, I think it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to escape a bad deal. Yeah. And I think that, obviously, if you can get a 10-year, be getting a 10-year and then focus really on paying down that mortgage as much as you can. So I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, but if rates do what they're going to do and you're at 1.7 and you're at 6 or 7, 10 years from now, then your house is probably not worth what you paid for it. Actually, what I was going to say, that's all true, but I am not concerned about anybody getting a loan in Canada today, right? If you qualify today, 100%. I think you're going to be fine. The chances that rates go up 200% from here, I don't see much chance. But as far as I'm concerned, dude, the cake is in the oven. Yeah, so it's like 06 in the States. Yeah, exactly. It's 06. It's 05, 06. Yep. We got to pay for it's 08, right? We got to pay for the sins that were baked in 06 and now they come due. That's why 08 was bad. The lending in 08 wasn't the issue. The lending was in 06 because that's where the 2 years started. Correct. And then the 2 year blew up in 08. Well, the 2 and 28s really kind of started in like 04. Yeah. And then they just, so I look at what's going to happen in Canada as a tidal wave. Exactly. A tsunami or a tidal wave. A tsunami or tidal wave. That's exactly. It's going to pull back away from shore. It's going to keep on pulling back. And then it's going to start to roll. And then you're going to be like, where the hell is all this water coming from? Exactly. And it just keeps on pushing itself inland, wrecking everything in its way. It's hard to watch, but I show my kids actually like tsunamis in Japan. It wipes out entire villages. Oh, gone. Yeah. It pulls away. And then all of a sudden you see it literally carrying boats a half a mile or a mile inland. That's what I think is going to happen there from a debt perspective, because I don't know enough about the Canadian system of how it's structured. That is there any opportunity to have a workout for those people that are at 1.7 that might be going to 6? Is there a workout for them where you can get them to 3.5 or 3.9? Well, that's the only thing, because again, that they do financial testing, right? That they do some stress testing on that borrower and say, we know you can't afford the 6, but rather than sell the property at a loss or put yourself in a bet or whatever, let's just, can you do 4 or 3.9? Yeah, again, the cake is in the oven. Yes. You can't undo what's been done 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Correct. I've thought a lot about this. Again, I'd love to be wrong. I'm wrong all the time. This is one of those instances. I hope I'm wrong. But I think what's going to happen is we will have that tidal wave. Again, the people that reset in the next 4 to 6 months, totally fine. There's no inventory. They're going to be out. No big deal. But at some point, the supply increase will be so much that I do think banks will have to, back in the day here, it was called extend and pretend, right? Yes, we know your 1.7 loan reset. We're going to let you carry that another year. We're going to let you carry that 24 months with no impact. That will definitely be a loan workout. I don't even know if that's allowed in Canada.
That's what I'm saying. No idea.
No idea. But
no idea.
If I was in the banking environment in Canada, I would be, because this is not a 2022 problem. It's a late 2023 problem. So folks from Canada, shout out, love the country. I'm trying to take Olivia to Toronto again. It's one of those magical cities. I got landed at night, took lots of pictures. It was awesome.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I love Toronto.
Yeah.
Hate the Leafs. Go Bruins.
Go Bruins. I personally don't even know what the Leaves are, so don't care.
Yeah. The Leafs are their hockey team. They're amazing. They have a ton of talent. It's kind of a little bit of envy. I won't lie.
I was teasing. I knew who they were.
Okay.
I was kidding. Anyways, I was setting
some hockey ball.
Hockey ball. Yeah. Hockey ball. Exactly. Did they get a touchdown? Anyways.
Yes, exactly.
So again, I am nervous for my viewers out there. And again, it's not the housing market per se, it's the lending market, and the asset on the lending happens to be housing. The ones that get out early will be fine, just like the people that got out in 06 were fine. The first people who were in the 2 and 28s, they made money.
Right.
It's the ones that were a year or two late. So I see a lot of risk. And again, I'd love to be wrong. Hopefully some of my Canadian followers, you can let me know in the comments below where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But as I sit here today, I am more concerned about the Canadian housing market having a legit pricing crash than the US. US will have a transaction crash, but Canada could have a transaction and pricing crash.
It is all about the debt structure, and their debt structure I get why their debt structure is what it is.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't really create a bunch of peaks and valleys, because normally rates are usually fairly normalized.
Yeah.
But you just found why it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or you will in 12 to 24 months, unless we're wrong on some of our assumptions.
There you go. All right, everybody. How can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube, and Sunday live streams at 11:30. In fact, this live stream this Sunday, I think is probably only going to be about an hour. So we're not going to go our normal 3, but that's where you find us. And on Instagram, Lumberjack Landlord.
Thanks, buddy.